Hello, everybody. Glad to see you again. Let's look at thread setting once more and try to understand the fundamentals of thread setting. It's very, very easy. This machine is easy to use. It's quite friendly to use. All right, there's nothing difficult here. Let's just pay attention. You'll understand few things now. So each time you want to set up a coin for a trade, after identifying the coin that you want to set up, you click on the quantitative here. Okay. Then you search for the coin that you want to set up. Let's say BCH. Okay. Then you open it, click on it to open. Okay. Once it is open, you go to thread setting here. Then open it. Once it's opened, here are a few things to consider when setting up trade. The first buy-in amount is very important to consider. Depending on the capital, assuming you are trading with $100 capital, 100 USDT capital, do not exceed 12 USDT first buy-in amount. Okay. But you can actually increase if you understand what you are doing. There is no perfect setting here, but just understand the concept. If you are using $100, you can start with $10 buy-in or $12 buy-in. But let's use $10 buy-in for easy calculation. Okay. This position double, don't on it, leave it like that. All right. Margin call limits. Margin call limits is how many times the system will be called to buy using the set buy-in amount. Each time the coin drops in the percentage you set, we'll get to that point. So assuming that this coin is on the downward trend, is going down continuously, and you set the margin call at 6 times, it will not call for purchase more than 6 times. Once you get to the 6th time, it will stop calling. It will close the margin call. Okay, and wait until the coin appreciates. It will sell off the coin, then enter into market again, but also will not exceed 6 times. All right. Let's consider somebody that's trading with 100 USDT now. The first buy-in is 10. All right. The 6th call after the first buy-in, the 6th time it will call will be 6 times 10, which is 60, plus the initial first buy-in, which is 70. You now have 30 USDT left. So the system will not take more than 70 USDT. It will be fluctuating between 70 USDT, and the system will never ask you to add more USDT again. All right, based on the understanding that you had with the system. Okay, so basically margin call limits the system on the number of calls that it will call for a purchase. All right. Remember that this system is set in a way that if the coins are dropping, it will be buying. If the coins are rising, it will be selling. So these are the two fundamentals of this Royal Q robot. We need to understand that as the coin is dropping, it's buying. As the coin is rising, it is selling. Okay. All right. Having said that, the next thing we will look at is hold position, check profit, 1%. Okay. But we can say 1.1% or 1.3%. Okay, but 1.3% is standard, is okay. What it actually means is that at every given position the robot is, at every given position the robot has taken, whenever the coin gains profit margin of 1.3 from its purchase, the system will be ready to trigger for sale. Okay, the system will be ready to trigger for sale. It mustn't trigger for sale at 1.3, but once it enters 1.3, it is getting ready to trigger. The system will allow the profit to be increasing. Okay, but immediately from the highest percentage it has increased, this one comes into play. Hold position, take profit, callback. Once the coin is increasing and is in the downward mode, once 0.08, depending what you put here, you can put 0.1. Okay, you can put 0.1, you can put 0.2, you can put 0.3, depending on your understanding of what you are doing. Okay, if you put 0.08, which is less than 0.08, which is less than 0.1, that means you are asking the system to trigger sell fast as soon as it enters 1.3% profit range. Okay, but if you leave it at 0.3, you are giving the system more opportunity for the profit to rise. Okay, for the profit to rise. As when the profit has risen to 1.3, the profit trigger range it's increased to 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. If it's coming down minus 1.1, it will not call for trigger. What if it starts increasing again to up to 2? But at any given time, this returning point gets to 0.3 from the peak downwards, it will call for trade execution. Okay, the essence is to allow the profit to rise very well. So these two work hand in hand. So if you want faster trigger, you reduce reduce this one, hold position, take profit, call back. But if you want delay to capture more profit range, you can increase it. 0.3 is standard, 0.3 is okay. Depending on the coin, the way the coin is rising, if the coin is delaying in rising or in getting profit, you can assist the system to take profit very fast as soon as it gets to 1.3% range, or whatever percent range you put here, 1.2 or 1.1 or 1%, whichever thing you put here. All right, so that's it for these two. Okay, I hope you understand this whole position take profit ratio and whole position profit callback is very important. Okay, this one is the profit range. This one is the callback to execute a trade when the percentage increase is reducing. All right. The next one is I'll leave margin configuration. I'll take margin configuration last. So let's look at buy in callback. Okay. Buy in callback. Let's look at buy in callback 0.1. Actually, you can increase this one. 0.1 is too small. You can put this one to 0.4 or 0.5. Okay, let's leave it at 0.5. All right. The function of this particular callback is to call for another trade, another coin when the first one has been sold. Let's assume the robot is at the position of 3. Okay. So once the position number 3 is sold, the system will wait for the coin to drop 0.5% before it will buy again. So if you want the system to be buying frequently, you can reduce this one. But if you don't want it to be buying frequently, you increase it. Okay. This button actually assists you so that the robot will not be buying at high cost for you all the time. After making sales, it will wait for a drop of 0.5 before it will call for trade at every given position that the robot is. Okay. This one is not much noticeable, but just know that from 0.1 to 0.5 is okay. Then another position will come in. I'll explain what I mean by position. I'll explain that in a margin configuration section. Okay. I will also explain this one later, distributed and take profit allocation. But let's look at sub position take profit callback. This one. Okay. This one and this one performs the same function. Okay, but this one controls the percentage profit in the sub position here. This sub position starts from position 5 up to the highest margin call that you set. Okay, while this one controls initial position up to position number 4, while this section controls from position number 5 to the highest margin call that you set. I will explain. Okay, since we set this one at 6, what will be here will be 5 and 6, because here we take care of, because this section will take care of position number 0 to 4 as initial position, and position number 1, 2, 3, 4. While this section takes care of position number 5 up to the highest margin call limit that you set. For example, this is at 6 margin call. Then let's look at here and look at what we see here. If you open it, what we have is sub position 5 and sub position 6. Okay, and these two positions were set at profit 1.3, 1.3 each. So the profit callback for these two positions is this one. So usually we set this and this at the same figure. Okay, with understanding. So if you set here 0.1, it will be nice also that you set here 0.1, because this one controls the sub position from 5 to the highest number that you set, while this one controls the initial buy-in and up to 4th positions. Very simple. Okay, then let's look at margin configuration. Margin configuration. Okay, this margin configuration is where you set how these 6 times will come in. You have to set how these 6 times will come in. This is where you set that in margin configuration. Okay, so once we have placed here 6 times, let's open margin configuration. You will see 6 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 layers, you will configure it as well to test system how these 6 layers will come in. Okay, now you have the system has started and has purchased the first buy-in at $10. Okay, now this $10 is now trading. Okay, then under the margin configuration, you now tell the system at what percentage drop will the system call for another purchase. Remember that this system is designed in a way that if the coins are dropping in price, it will be buying. If if the prices are rising, it starts selling. Okay, so you can tell the system if this coin drops, let's say 0.6 or 0.8 or 0.5 or 0.2, whatever. Okay, let's say 0.6. I'm taking 6 because I set this one as 0.5. Okay, the drop in the margin configuration should not be lower than what you set as call back. The system will not accept it. The system will not accept it. Yeah. So if you are set callback at 0.5, okay, know that in your margin configuration shouldn't be less than 0.5. If you start with at least 0.6 upwards. All right. So what this thing means is you are not telling the system after the initial purchase of $10, if this coin did not rise for a sale, of course, if it rises, it will sell, it will not call. But if it drops from the initial price 0.6%, okay, buy one time for me. Remember, we are considering $100 here. It is buy one time for me. Okay, that is one time means 1 times 10, because we have set $10 as initial buy in. We have set $10 as initial buy in. So if it's dropped 0.6 or 0.7 or 0.8 or even 1% or 2% or 3%, buy one time for me, or 2 times or 3 times, depending on the capital you are using. But usually one time. If you are trading with $100 to $250, use one time, because to conserve USDT for you as the coins are dropping. Okay, let me assume 0.6 here, and then let's say 0.8 here. Okay, let's use figure that we'll understand faster. Let's use 1 here to understand it. After you have gotten the basic knowledge, you can edit. Let's say 2 here. Let's say 3 here. Let's say 4 here. And let's say 5 here. And let's say 6 here. Okay. You have told the system to buy 1 times, buy again 1 times, buy again 1, buy again 1, buy again 1, buy again 1. This is basically for the purpose of teaching, so that we understand the concept. After we will edit again. So basically what this means is if this coin drops in 1%, the system should call in for a purchase 10 USDT. That is 1 times 10. If it drops again 2%, Okay, making total of 3%. 2 plus 1. This coin has dropped in 3% now. You should buy another one times $10 here. If it drops again, that's assuming if it did not rise. If it drops again, 3% from 2%, making total of 1, 3, 3, 6. Making total of 6%, buy another one times. Eventually, if it drops again from this level, 4%, okay? Making total of how many percent now? 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 10. Making total of 10% drop. Buy again one times for me. If it drops again from here, another 5%, making total of 15% now. Buy another one for me. If it drops again here, from here, 6%, all right, buy another one for me. Making total of 15 plus 6, 21% total. So this coin is permitted to buy maximum 21% drop, and it has covered the 10 position. The six position will set. So let's check. Then $10 initial purchase plus 10, 20 plus 10, 30 plus 10, 40 plus 10, 50 plus 10, 60 plus 10, 70. So in total, this coin is permitted to use 70 USDT in trade. But let's bear in mind that this is just assumption, because coins does not drop like this instantly. And remember, it goes up and down. Okay. So if it drops the first call from after the initial purchase, if it drops the first call, it takes the first position. This is what I call the position. The market will be in this position. All these other sections are not existing in the market. Okay. All right. So at this first position, if it gains 1.3%, if it gains 1.3%, it will sell off this position. To sell off this position and go back to initial position. Okay. But if it does not rise up to 1.3%, we'll set at our profit range and drops again 2%. It will call for another USDT, 10 USDT, 1 times 10, 10 USDT. Okay. And take this position. It will be in this position. Okay. So at this second position, if it rises up to 1.3%, it will sell off this one. Okay. If it rises more in 2 fractions to cover the first and the second, it will sell off the 2 at the same time and go back to initial position. Okay. If the profit range rises up to that it can sell off the initial position, it will sell them off. Then if your mode is in cycle mode, it will buy on itself. But if it's in one short mode position, it will wait for you to come and click on start again for the trade to start all over again. I will explain more on the cycle and then one shot mode. Okay, so we need to understand these basic functions while setting up a trade. You yeah, you might decide to increase this one to 1 point something, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 2, depending on your capital. You must have made calculation, you know, the, the, the amount you're using to trade. You must have made calculation of these things. Then after setting up this configuration this way, okay, you confirm it. It brings you back to the initial page. Then you open distributed and take profit range and set your profit range for position 5 and 6 or more. If you added more margin call limit, you can set the position, you can set the profit range 1.1, 1.2, or even 1, depending your target. Okay, so the essence is to understand the concept of trade setting. Okay, let me summarize again. The initial buy-in 10, usually 10 to $15, but 10 is okay if your trading capital is just above 100 USDT. But if you have up to 1,000 USDT, you can increase this section of 500 USDT. Then taking notes of the margin call limit. How many times you want the system to buy as the coin is dropping in price, or as the coin is losing in price. Okay. Then the next is the percentage at which you would want the system to take profit for you. Let's say 1.3. The trigger point 0.1. If you want little delay, if you want faster delay, you can use 0.0 something, 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, anything that's less than 0.1. Then buy-in callback 0.5 is okay. Sometimes we can reduce it if you want it to buy faster. You can reduce it to 0.2 or 0.1, but 0.2 to 0.5 is okay. Then for the sub position profit, you can use 0.1 to control it. Okay. Then after that, you have set everything in this page. You go to margin configuration. You go to margin configuration and set how the margin call limits will come in. Okay, you set it. All right. You should know that this particular setting now, as it is now, looking at us, okay, will not call for purchase faster. It will wait for the coin to drop in 1% for it to call. It will also from 1% wait for coin to drop at 2% for it to call. From 2%, it will also wait for coin to drop at 3% extra for it to call. From third position, it will wait for another 4% drop for it to call. All right. So This particular setting is for coins that are dropping very fast. Okay. But usually you can allow the system to buy faster. You can say zero point 0.6, and then there is another 0.7 buy. Use another 0.8 buy. Use another 0.9 buy. Use another 1% buy. Use another 1.1% buy. Okay. This method will allow the coins to be purchased very fast and wait for any moment that the coin rises, all right, for it to start selling. Okay, but with your own understanding of the coin, you can put restriction. You can say if it drops 3%, buy. If it drops 5%, buy. If it drops 8%, buy. If it drops 10%, buy. If it drops 12%, buy. If it drops 18%, okay, let's just say 15%, buy. There are some coins that are radical in nature, coins like Shiba, SLP, and so many of them that are radical that can drop very fast. You can use this method to restrict them from dropping so fast, especially if you have multiple coins traded, so that one coin shouldn't go and carry all the USDT and back. Okay, so with this little knowledge, you'll be able to know how to manipulate the system. But I would advise, if you are very new, that you've not understand what we are talking at this level, just have patience. With time, you will understand. Always ask for assistance. Ask for your upline for assistance. You can inbox me for assistance. Okay. You can, drop message in the general group for assistance. Somebody will always assist you. All right. But I know with time, you will perfect with this software and you will exploit it very well to your own advantage. Okay, so once you have confirmed, remember to save all the settings you have performed. You come here and save all the settings. Okay, that's it. You come there and save. Once you save, it will take you to the next page, to the previous page. Save it will bring you to this page where you will now determine to leave this coin on one shot. You can leave this coin on one shot, or you can leave it in circle. Okay. One shot mode means after it has sold off all the coins in its possession, it shouldn't buy again. It will wait for you to come and click start again for it to start. But if you leave it in circle mode, it's already in circle mode. It's already in circle mode. Okay, it's a toggle switch. If you click, it will turn to one shot. You can see one shot here. If you click again, it will turn to circle mode. So whenever you see here, it's one shot. It is one shot. If you click this circle again, it will turn to circle mode. If you click one shot, it will turn to one shot. If you click circle mode, it will turn to circle mode. So circle mode means that you are permitting the system to enter market regularly after selling, buy, after selling, buy. It just be in cycle, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Okay, but if the coin that you are monitoring, you don't want the coin to rise too much, you can use one shot mode. Okay, whenever that coin sells off, you go and check the percentage at which that coin is. You can check the percentage, something here or here. You know, there are some coins that are risen in high percentage that you may not want to go there, because when it starts dropping, something like this one has gone 19%. Okay, there are some coin you see 30, 40, 50%. You may not want to go there, because from 50%, when it begin to drop to whatever percentage it will drop, you still have to wait for the coin to rise up to that 50% again before you make sales. So the one shot will assist you so that the coins will not rise so much, so that you not be having so much floating loss when the coin begins to dip again. You can see virtually all my trades are in one shot, because whenever they sell, I'll go back to check the percentage. You can see that this one has sold and the percentage is 18. I wouldn't want to go back again. This one has sold, percentage is 17. I wouldn't want to go back again. This one has not sold, but it has risen to 7%. If it sells, I'll go back to the trade and click start again. When it has risen up to 18, 20, I will not want to go there again, because any moment from then, it will start dropping. So with that, it will assist you to minimize your floating loss. Okay, this is where you see the floating loss. Okay, to help you to minimize the floating loss. Okay, having said that about trade setting, setting, okay, I believe by now you have understood the basic concept of trade setting. When you want to set up a trade, you go to quantitative, okay, and search for the coin. You can use this search option here to search for the coin BCH. This is the coin I just finished setting up now. Okay, but I will not click on start. So after that, yeah, there's one more important thing you need to consider: the strategy mode. Okay, yeah. Before you click on start, go to strategy mode. Okay, then open it, then select this section. Okay, sub-bin mode rate time settlement is very important for all your setups. Don't use this one, it will delay the sales. Use this one, it will make the sales faster, because it will sell at every position. But if you use this one, it will wait to sell all the position at the same time, which may take ages. But use this one, it's very okay. And then you confirm. Okay, then you confirm. Once you confirm, then you can now click on start. Okay, let me click on start after I'll go off. You can now click on start. Once you click on start, you confirm. It will call for coin. Bam, it has called for coin. Okay, you can see it here. You can see it here. It has called for coin. Okay, and then it's at a 0 level now. This initial position, it has not called the margin call. This initial position 0, so it has called for coin. 11.2 USDT is now waiting to be sold for this particular coin, PCH USDT. Okay, so okay, let me explain more things here. Here is the purchasing price. Okay, 562.1. So here is the current price, 561.6. Here is the return rate. Okay, it's in the negative, meaning it has not entered profit range. Okay, so until the current price rises above the average price at which it bought before, it will now sell. So whenever the current price is higher than the average price at every given position, it will sell, even if in the 100 position. At any time the current price is higher than the price at which it bought at that position, it always sell and keep the profit for you. That's one unique thing about Royal Q. Even in the dip, is making profit because every position is independent of each other. As the coins are dropping, it is buying, and each position it bought is independent of each other. So at every position, whenever the coin sells, it sells for that particular position and keep the profit, and goes back into the market if it is on cycle, or waits for you to click on start if it is on one shot. If it's on one shot, once this position is sold off, it will not come into market to buy again. To wait for you to come and click on start. Okay. All right. These ones I wouldn't want us to go into here. Is if you want to sell manual, you can use here. If you want to buy manual, you can use here. But I advise you don't go to these two unless you understand what you are doing. Okay, but I believe with time I'll explain more on those two. But for now, just maintain this level and you'll be making profits. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I've already spent 46 or 47 minutes in this tutorial. Please go through it. You can play it as many times as possible for you to grasp what I am talking about. All right. Good luck and God bless.